Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining me again for another episode, first episode of 2024 of the Fitness Managers podcast. So, Fitness Managers Report podcast is what I like to call it. What we are talking about today is all about the website and how maybe the club website or studio website that you work for as a fitness manager, it might not be working for you as much as it could. So I'm here with Connie Holen, the owner and founder of Pixality Design. And she and I were connected through other avenues of consulting and working with other gyms and businesses in the fitness industry. And she's an expert on websites and was mentioning to me how useful it might be to talk about this topic so managers can lean on the website that is already created for their facilities to make their job easier, which we're always eager to hear more about, right? Because it's tough being a fitness manager. And the more easy we can make our job, the better. So I have three quick questions for Connie, and she's just going to tell us more about what she thinks about those items. So, first question I have for you, Connie, is why is having a customer support page on the website a way to save time for managers?
Yeah, I think we get started thinking about like a fitness studio website being for marketing, right? Or for booking. And it is those things for sure, but it can be another kind of hidden benefit of having some of these pages on your website for the managers, the studio managers. And it really comes down to customer support. And so what we're talking about here is creating more of a account management page or a support page that's more than just the plain contact form. Because what studio managers probably get in most cases is a generic contact form that the clients of the studio use. They go fill it out from anything from, I need to cancel my membership, I want to upgrade, can I bring my friend Jenny to the class on Friday, right? Like it's just kind of a catch-all form. So what I think is better for the studio managers, which is going to help them save time and the studio run more efficiently, is if you create a more robust support page, which has multiple forms that we can kind of talk about what those are. But I think it's getting your systems in order and it's getting organized and it's making the website work for you in your day-to-day ops to make you more efficient and provide a better customer experience for the end client at the same time.
It's a two for one.
It
I
is,
love
yes. We all
that.
love that.
Yes, I love that you mentioned that because as a client, if you put yourself in their shoes and you're going to that contact page, there's so many times that I don't even get a response when I fill that out and I send it because it could be going to another inbox that maybe that manager doesn't have access to anymore, or someone else is managing it who has no idea what they're talking about. And so it could be a big time waster, or it might not even be getting to you with those contact boxes. So as a client, I know I've gotten frustrated because I couldn't reach anybody because it wasn't working. Um, so, what are three important components, or I guess examples, when it comes to having that customer support page?
Yeah, the biggest thing to keep in mind is keep it minimal, keep it really easy to navigate, keep it inviting. So if you have like I've seen some like customer support pages that are resource pages and there's long lists of FAQs and there's link to this resource and this resource and this resource. That's not what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here is a really inviting, minimal, clean page that's, I recommend, four things on it. What would you like to do? Do you want to cancel? Do you want to freeze your membership? Do you want to upgrade your membership? And then maybe like a catch-all for like, do you want to give this feedback or do you have something else? So if you can just make it minimal would be the first tip. Minimal, choose like four things, the most four common things that you get asked or the customer support things that you address day to day as a manager. And then number two is make it welcoming. And so this also isn't like, here's our policies. Make sure you have 24-hour. You do want to put all that stuff in there too, like just remind them of their policies, but it's a customer support page. So we want to make it inviting and welcoming. We want to open the door for any additional feedback. And so that kind of comes with that fourth thing that I mentioned, like letting them know how they can contact you if that their needs don't fit into one of those buckets that you've laid out already. And then the third is to anticipate the information that you're going to need. So as a studio manager, there's probably nothing worse than getting part of the answer that you need and then emailing them back and then they don't get back to you. And then they come back a month later and they said, I thought I froze that or I canceled. And you didn't have the information, so you didn't finish up, right? Like that clunkiness, we're trying to eliminate that here. So if you can get organized, anticipate all the information you're going to need to say cancel a membership or upgrade a membership, and put those questions in the forms that you're sending them to from that customer support page. That's, that prior thinking and that prior organization and anticipating what you're going to need is going to make this whole process a whole lot smoother. So my three things would be: make sure it's minimal and clean, easy to navigate. And number two, make sure it's welcoming and you're given an open door for feedback. And then number three, that you're anticipating what all the information you're going to need to see the thing through.
So helpful. And I actually came up with that question because I went to one of your sites that you'd consulted for. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so easy to use for a client, or to just, like you said, keep it simple. I could imagine myself having a question or needing help with something and knowing exactly which one of those buckets, like you mentioned, to click on and to use. So those are three helpful things. But if you really want to dive into that more, probably working with Connie directly is where she can really demonstrate what she can do. I will be putting all of her information in the show notes for this episode. So you can access her website, find out. She has a really nice layout. Of course, she has a wonderful website, but she also has a really nice layout of all of the different studios and gyms she's worked with. And when you can actually click on those and see some examples of what you might envision your site looking like. Or if you wanted to see some of these customer support pages she's created, you could start getting ideas from there as well. So
Yeah.
I thought that was so helpful. And then what I mentioned earlier, and the tough part about being a fitness manager, is you're kind of a middle manager. So you're maybe coming up with ways to help your facility improve the systems for you, but it's convincing upper management or convincing your IT team the reasons behind maybe revamping that page. Maybe they go to their website now and they're like, oh my gosh, there is just an FAQ page that's super ugly and it has a contact thing at the bottom. Like, how could we make this better? How would you recommend managers, or I guess the steps they take or the way they present it to upper management and IT to get what they need out of their site?
Yeah, I think the real argument is it saves time and it improves the customer experience both. And then as a fitness manager, those SOPs or those procedures that's part of your job, is tasked to see those opportunities to clean things up and make things tighter and more efficient. So, if you can present it like this, allows us to put an SOP in place for new hires. This is the process. People fill out this form and it goes to this inbox, and this is how we respond. It's helping you get that process in place so that you can, that the business is better for the long run, and future people too. So it's not just to make your life right now easier, but it's to make all future hires more organized and more efficient there too. So saves time and improves customer experience would be the big things. And then it puts another system in place for consistency.
Love that. Yeah. Cause I think speaking to upper management, sometimes I don't always know how to put myself in their shoes. I just know how to tell them what I need. But I think giving them those reasons is really helpful so that they can see how it's going to help the business actually move forward, along with helping you save time,
Right.
which time is money. Like, some of the stuff that you're unfortunately wasting time on as a fitness manager is costing money because you're head
Yeah.
down in things, that you really shouldn't be in all the time. This was so very helpful. Thank you so much for being so succinct and action packed in your answers. I love it. Anything else that you want to just mention or say to managers as they consider this on their site?
Yeah, I think if you sit down and look at like your big pain points as a manager, what's your client communication pain points? Like, what friction points come up? What do people ask about all the time? Um, and then look at the website and say, is there a way that we can make this better for me for ongoing? Whether it's a series of different specific forms that get routed to the right person, or whether it's rewriting an FAQ, or maybe you don't even have an FAQ on the site. Look, I just encourage you as a managers to like give that perspective to the studio owners because they value it. They get really in their bubble of looking at things from a certain perspective, but they value what you bring and the perspective that you can have looking at the website and say, this could really help the business operate more efficiently. So, whether it's forms or not, like just start with what your friction points and what you're annoyed that you have to deal with all the time. And then just ask the question whether the website can help streamline that.
So helpful. I love it. Thank you so much. This is going to help so many managers. I'm so excited. I can't wait. So definitely check out all that Connie has to offer. Reach out to her, learn more about what she has to offer as far as maybe a quick consultation. I love how she sets up. You can review your website in real time meeting with her. So definitely look at those offerings on her site. Check out the sites she's worked with and digest what we shared today to help you save time and help that site work for you. And now I want to say like work for your clients too. I think it really is so true that it helps both manager and client.
Absolutely. Yep. Win-win.
Win-win. Thank you so much again, everyone, for watching this episode. Next month, I'm excited to be bringing on Eliza Kingsford, who is going to be teaching us how to better understand our nervous system as leaders and the nervous system of, she's a licensed psychotherapy therapist. So she's the one who's going to talk about this, obviously more than me. I'm not licensed. But I think I've been to a lot of her sessions talking about how you as a leader can understand your nervous system, those of the clients and the instructors and the team that you work with to help lead them better, help get along better, and help understand maybe where people are coming from. So I'm really excited for her to be talking about that next month. Thank you so much again, Connie. You can watch this on YouTube and any other place you obtain your podcasts. And be sure to like and subscribe if this is content that you are enjoying so we can stay in touch. Thank you again.